Hello and welcome to Motivational Monday. Our goal here is to help you to start your week with strong mental health. And if there's ever a time to have the conversation about mental health and really talk about its significance, trust me, it's right now. And this is a very special episode because I don't have a guest with me today. I just want to take a moment to encourage you wherever you happen to be on your own journey. Right now, if you've been following us for any period of time, you'll know that we've talked about a variety of topics in the midst of Motivational Monday. We've talked about things like anxiety and how to deal with and navigate anxiety, as well as grief and just the complexities of grief beyond the loss of life, but the loss of really anything. We've talked about loneliness and fear, and the list kind of goes on. I'd encourage you to go back and watch any of those episodes. And if you've been paying attention to anything in the news or on social media, you'll know that our country, our society is really ripe right now for a lot of mental health issues and related issues to develop and to grow in anyone, right? It's very easy in our current climate to be overcome with fear, to be overcome with anxiety or grief. And I am convinced that that is not the heart or desire of God for you or anyone around you. When Jesus was preparing his disciples for his departure from earth to ascend back to his heavenly Father, he made this promise, and I believe it's perfect for right now. And this is what he said to them. He said, in this world, you will have trouble. You will. Not maybe, not might, not sometimes, but you will have trouble, which means it's going to come. It's guaranteed that we will have trouble in this world. And all of our current problems could be solved today, and then 2 days from now, new ones come up. It's a part of living in a broken society. But then there's a second part to this promise. There's a hope that's offered on the other end of it. He said, but take heart. In this world, you will have trouble, but take heart. Why? Because I have overcome the world. It says he's conquered really the final enemy of us, of our hearts, of our peace, of our lives. And you may say, well, Pastor Paul, what does that mean? In the midst of everything that's going on, what does it mean that he has overcome the world, that he has conquered the world? How does that help me today? And this is what it means. And I really want for you to grab a hold of this. It means that we know how the story ends. It means that this chapter that we see now is not the final chapter. We can hope in something far greater. And this is the heart of Pastor Chris's sermon yesterday when he shared it, is that our hope is anchored in something that is greater than today's answers. Our hope is not anchored in today's answers. We want answers today. We want results and resolves today. We want healing today. We all do. Trust me, we're all praying for that. However, regardless of what happens today, we know that our hope is sure. Our hope is anchored in something that's untouchable, that goes beyond the problems of today and keeps us focused, steadfast on something beyond what's happening in our current society. Now, I really do hope that encourages you to know that even in the midst of all that's happening, that this is not the end of the story. This is not the final chapter, that God is still at work. God is still writing this story. And if you find yourself in any capacity becoming overwhelmed, if you find yourself, as you scroll through your news feed or as you watch the news, beginning to become overwhelmed or overcome with fear or anxiety or grief, I need you to know that it's okay to pause. Yes, it's okay to pause. It's okay to step back for a moment, to unplug, to say, you know what? I'm going to take a day or two where I'm not looking at my social media or I'm not watching the news, and I'm just spending time with God and I'm spending time with my family. I'm allowing him to pour into me, to rebuild me, to refresh me, and to prepare me to step back out into the world truly as his advocate, right? As his ambassador, as he calls us, as Paul calls us in Corinthians, as ambassadors of Christ. But it's okay to take that pause if you find yourself going into that place. God cares about your mental health, and there's plenty that he's given us that we can do to help to care for our own mental health as well. So thank you again for joining us, for watching yet another episode of Motivational Monday. I pray that this was helpful and encouraging to you. I pray that God spoke to your heart, that God refreshed you, and that you will continue to be refreshed even in this season. If you found this episode helpful, be sure to like and subscribe. And if you found it really helpful, be sure to share it with a friend. God bless you. Until next time.